Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave, episode 78. Today I'm going to be talking about and showing a game that's really popular within, the whole retro gaming world, because this game was pretty much what sold a lot of the original consoles. And I honestly think a lot of people bought Ataris, the original Ataris, just for this game, and that would be Space Invaders. And I'm going to be playing it on two different systems, the Atari and the Intellivision. I usually would try and do three games, three systems or whatever, or three versions of a game, but I really don't have any other versions of Space Invaders. I probably have one on the Commodore somewhere, like some kind of Space Invader clone or something. But I don't have any other, I don't even know if there is one on the Nintendo. I don't have it on Coleco. I don't own any of the other systems that might have a Space Invaders game. So I'm just going to stick with the Atari and the Intellivision. Now, as you can see, this one doesn't say Space Invaders. This one says Space Armada. Now, this was made by, the people who make the Intellivision, the Mattel Electronics. And they probably didn't have the licensing or anything to actually make the game called Space Invaders. So they changed the name. I mean, it's no big deal. We all know what it is. You see on the back there, it's got like Space Invaders. You know what it is. And, it's typical Intellivision. You get the nice box with the manual, the overlays. Even though the overlays don't really do much in this game. I mean, just looking at it, you have fire button and practice and game. I mean, so the overlays are really just to make your controller look a little pretty. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to play, well, actually I have two of them. And, it's one of these games where if you're an Atari collector, you probably do have to. Actually, I think I had three of them at one point, and I got rid of one. But yeah, so I'll pick one. Let's go with the silver label one. And I'll be playing Space Armada. Okay, Space Invaders. Let's roll up my chair here. Okay, so this is... so this is the classic Atari 2600 Space Invaders. I mean, overall, it looks cool, so I'm just going to go with the basic settings. I'm not going to play around. I know you can do some other stuff, but let's just start the game. I'm going to turn it up, too, so I can hear some great Space Invaders action sounds, whatever you want to call it. I guess I should start shooting. Overall, yeah. I mean, this is Space Invaders, and I'm sure this was probably one of the best games when the Atari came out. And I think this was probably the game that a lot of people bought an Atari just to play. Sure, there was Pac-Man out there, and lots of arcade classics of the day. But I think this is the game that people really wanted. This is what made people really want to have that arcade feel in their home. Now, I could be wrong, but I think that UFO thing has something to do with the difficulty setting. Again, I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to reading the rules. But, this is where I just like to dive into a game and start playing. And here's where they start going crazy fast. Interesting fact on that, though, and I didn't learn this till much that kind of a recent thing for me to learn, was that the reason why they speed up at the end there wasn't because of intention, but the way the game code was written, it was kind of like a defect, a side effect, or whatever you want to call it. So essentially, the memory that I was using for all of them was now only using it for like a bit. And it just somehow ended up speeding them up. Which is cool, because it actually did add that level of difficulty to the game, right? Because now all of a sudden you're down to like 2 or 3 of these... What are they? Alien bugs or something? Some kind of weird alien things? And all of a sudden they start going super, super fast. You'll notice that those barrier things will disappear at some point. Now, I never really knew if it was worth to try and focus on that UFO ship. Uh-oh. 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 Oh! Now there's just, I mean, there's a lot of options in this game. There's a lot. Actually, let's just do one just for fun here. Let's reset the game here. Let's select. See, I can go to this one here, and now all of a sudden those barriers are moving. So let's try this. This will be fun. Actually, I kind of like that they're moving. They're not, you know, you can kind of get ready to fire when they get out of the way. Only thing is, it's a little bit harder to duck under them to save yourself, obviously, because it's moving. So, I mean, there's that UFO again. Get it? No, didn't get it. Another interesting thing is, what's a better strategy? To hit the ones at the bottom first? You know, when you start getting to this point? Or start hitting the top ones? And leave those bottom ones? I don't know. I think it's probably better to hit the bottom ones, because they're the ones that are going to hit your battle station thing. Oh, here they go. Hyperspeed, hyperspeed, hyperspeed. Got him. And I still had some shields left. Alright, over to Space Armada. Now, this is Space Invaders, just to be clear. I mean, they literally just changed the name. That's all they did. It's the same game. And they give you an option here. Practice mode or not. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go game. And enter. So as you can see now, I mean, the graphics are completely different. We are going on to the Intellivision here. I find that the aliens, they're so much bigger and colorful, is the way I describe this. And your ship is a little smaller. And these things seem to be moving a little bit, faster. Whoa! I think I'm going to die. Now I'm finding the shields to be a little bit more of a... Oh, I just hit that UFO. Finding the shields in this one to be a little bit more of a hindrance. Not really liking the shields as much. I don't know. It just seems like they're much bigger and they're more in the way. They're actually causing more of a problem to me. And of course I'm using the Intellivision controller, which, you know, the fire button on that is a little bit more harder on the hand than the Atari stick. Sound effects on this aren't all that pleasing. Whoa. Let's try that again. Okay. Glitch? Maybe? I don't know. Let's try again. Game. Whoa! Now I remember playing this a lot when I was a kid, and I remember like getting to multiple levels, and I believe the color changes, the screen color. So right now it's got that blue around it, and I believe when you complete it, you do get different colors, if I'm correct. If I can complete it, I don't know. I'm a little bit rusty at this, and my hand is killing me with this button. Oh! Yeah. I mean, overall, I mean, it's not too bad. I wonder what the difference of practice is. Now, I think with this, too, I have to really focus on getting the earlier rows, because they seem to be advancing much faster, and these stupid barriers keep getting in my way. But much like the Atari, I mean, the sound effects are pretty much, you know, just the sound is like the firing sound, and not a lot of sound going on. Ah. Uh-oh, uh-oh, aliens! Ah! Crud. But that's what's cool about these games, you know, they they're quick, they're simple. You throw them in, you just play for a few minutes, get pissed off, and turn them off. I'm finding though that the fire button is a nuisance. If I had some kind of rapid fire, maybe. The disc controller though is nice. And that was one thing I kind of always wondered about the Atari. Oh, got him. Was why doesn't the Atari, there you are, red color. Why doesn't the Atari utilize the oh, look at that. Regenerated. Interesting. Why doesn't the Atari utilize the paddle controllers for Space Invaders? I don't know if I've ever gotten an answer on that. I don't know if anybody knows the or reason why, or maybe there was a homebrew made or something for it, but I just never understood that. It seems like such a perfect game to be using a paddle controller on, since you're only going sideways. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to lose. Ah. Okay, well, you can see right there, I mean, both games are, you know, same concept, same kind of game, but play a little bit different. And, you know, I think the Atari on this one, this I kind of felt was better to a degree. The Intellivision, though, was graphically pleasing. And I played this one a lot when I was a kid. So I'm kind of like on the fence on which one I actually enjoy playing. I like how this one had a lot of options. You know, this has a lot of, you know, this has a rule book and stuff, so maybe I can read through there and see if there is a way to change options. But, I mean, I know with the switches and all that, you can change the way the game plays. You know, I showed the moving barriers and stuff. And, you know, I wish this had a little bit more color to it. I know the original Space Invaders, I believe, was just literally all like green or whatever, like it was, you know, the old style. I don't think I've ever actually played an original Space Invaders arcade system. And let's not forget, this is the same as the cover for the rock band Boston's, I don't know what album it is, but I know I've seen it. Very similar, so I don't know which came first, the album or the game. It's a good question. The artwork. But if you were to, yeah, if you look it up, the Boston cover, yeah. Anyways, not a whole lot to say. I mean, I'm not the greatest at these games either. You saw me getting my butt handed to me. It took me a while to get used to playing on the Intellivision one, and like I said, my thumb was starting to get tired. But that's, you know, the nature of the Intellivision controller. Any game that requires you to constantly be pushing that button, you know, it needs a I don't know, like a rapid fire or something like that. And then I don't even think you can hold it down and it will keep shooting. I think you still have to keep plugging away at it. So yeah. And the third note is I really, and I was going to show this, I really wish Space Invaders worked with this. Because this would be cool, you know, the back and forth and you know, boom, 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 boom. Why? I don't know. Maybe these, who knows. Anyways, yeah, I'd like to hear what you think and what you think the differences are and which one you think is better, because, you know, I'd say there's a lot of pros and cons to each one. Like I said, the Intellivision one being a lot more colorful and being interesting, and, you know, the color changing and stuff. The Atari was a little bit more, you know, basic looking, but the gameplay was a little bit better for me. So, you know, I think they both kind of win in the same regard, and depending on what you're a fan of. But anyways, yeah, I'd like to hear what you have to say, and, you know, let me know in the comments below. Hope you subscribe to my videos. Talk to you later.